So, really, most of us have been conditioned to defend ourselves. Not all of us, but most. And what that means is when you're explaining, going out of your way to justify yourself, prove your worth to people who really don't have any intention on understanding you, and oftentimes know that's not in their plan. In that case, constantly defending yourself is just exhausting and draining to your energy. And when you're constantly in a reactive state, there's going to be something that's triggering you. Really and truly, you have to understand that true power isn't explaining yourself, it's in embodying. Instead of defending your energy, your beauty, your peace, just start protecting it. And a lot of people don't know how to protect themselves per se. It's not even just, lighting sage and wearing amulets and things like that. You can be silent. When I say silence is power, not everything needs a response. And I feel like that's basic. Most people know that. But some things are best met with stillness. Like you cannot go wrong with silence. The next thing I'd say is definitely selective access when it comes to your energy. Like you have to treat yourself as if you know your energy is sacred, and that at that point you learn to distance yourself from people who drain you. And it's not always intentional, so there's no real reason to get upset and be like, oh, you're draining me. Some people, it's not the flesh you're dealing with, it's the entity within them. And when they're on a mission, opposing energy, negative energy so to speak, comes to kill, steal, destroy. So if it's taking away from your peace, if it's doing anything like that, move away from it. And in moving away from it, um, I don't know if anyone's familiar with cord cutting rituals. Do not let the word ritual scare you. A ritual with cord cutting can honestly be as simple as getting a glass of water and saying, like, I'm releasing the emotional and energetic baggage that doesn't serve me. You can meditate on what your energy, excuse me, my throat chakra is a little closing up. I don't like that. But you can just ask to distance yourself and then visualize, like, what is your world going to look like without this person's influence, the things you'd be able to accomplish. And then immediately after that, start learning to ground yourself in your own energy. A lot of you are becoming, I don't want to use the word collections, but you're becoming a basket of the negative attributes in other people. You are not to let the world change you, and unless it's for the better, really. But grounding energy on a day-to-day basis can look like prayer. It can look like, and again, on a spiritual level, a lot of these things are being done from a conscious place. It's not the flesh you're dealing with. It is the entity and the energy that lies beneath. So when you think that people don't see you for who you are, or that you're being overlooked, understand that the soul, the entity, whether maleficent or benevolent, once they see that, some will admire it, others will project negatively, but a lot of people play in magic. So beauty magic is real. And even if it's not candles being lit or seances being done and cantations, chanting, all of that stuff, like you have to know that you have to protect yourself. Like your beauty isn't just something that's on display. And I'm not talking about just physical beauty, internal beauty as well. Protect it. Um, I guess on a physical level, though, some of the things that you can do, a lot of the time, if you're feeling like you need to respond to somebody, like you need to get out of your body, go take a shower. Go wash your face. It sounds cliche, but these things are part of your energetic maintenance. When you wash your face, when you wash your body, do it with intent. Allow me to see myself clearly as I wash away this negative energy. Bless yourself. Like, y'all have to learn, because destruction doesn't always come with warnings. You can just think that you're going about your everyday life and you're fighting battles in the unseen. A lot of people are religious, so they don't believe in, wearing amulets, but you have to invoke your protection from God. You actually need to be praying, grounding yourself in the energy of being protected. And if you think you're protected, but you're doing things that are in opposition to protection, then check yourself, because spiritual warfare is real. But if you aren't religious, you could and would understand that there are frequencies behind everything. So, when you burn sage, or you wear your amulet, or you use Palo Santo, incense, fresh air, even, that those things are naturally barriers for negative energy. Like, they have actual metaphysical properties that do that. Another way, if you're out of your element or just need to ground, go look in the mirror, look into your eyes, and pretty much set the intention to your reflection. You're speaking to you, and then when you speak to others, they are picking up on that. So you always want to make sure that your reflection is pretty much clear. Limit access to your personal life, definitely. You're going to want to create barriers before you get in any interactions with people. So if you know you're going into a group setting where you might not be received all the way because you don't know who's in the room per se, you're going to want to say, pray. Some people call it prayer. Some people just say it in their heads. Some people speak it into the atmosphere. But you would say something along the lines of, protect my energy as I walk into this room from any negative projections, drama, chaos, envy, jealousy. Like, all of those things matter. And I guess the last thing that we'll talk about is keeping your space clean. Everything holds energy. So when it's off, you don't know what around you is holding the energy. So get into the habit of not only moving things around, but moving your body. You store a lot of energy. And when you don't know yourself, or when you're getting to know yourself, I'm going to take a water break. But when you're getting to know yourself, you have to be able to take a step back and see, like, okay, this is not me. This is not my energy at all. And more than that, and I guess the last and most important takeaway is unfollow people, mute them, silence them. This is your world. What you watch, what you hear, what you speak is what comes into your reality. So if at any point you aren't liking what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're sensing, change it. Be aware enough to censor what comes in. And when you censor what comes in, it will change what comes out and what comes about. I may finish this, but I'm going to take a water break.